Everyone. It's so nice having you here. I hope you all had a lovely Valentine's Day with whomever you enjoy and that you bought yourself lots of chocolate. Um, we're going to be getting going in a minute. And we're just having Peter work his magic on the back end to get everything started on the live stream. And then we'll be jumping in to our wonderful adventure today. We'll be introducing our amazing guest in a minute. And
So, welcome everybody. We are live now on YouTube. So, thank you for joining us. I'm Peter D. I'm a 24/7 channel, part of the team with my lovely wife Tracy, the Becoming Awesome folks. So, Trace, why don't you say hello?
hey, everyone. This is such a joy to get together as a big group like this, and I'm really looking forward to today.
Great. So, we have with us today a really special guest, Darryl Ng. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Darryl through just the beauty of connection on online and the internet. And boy, it's super sweet being in Darryl's field and the wisdom that he's able to share. So I'm not going to tell much about your background other than when I checked into how old a soul is, you were the oldest one I've ever identified. And we also know that this is your first physical incarnation on planet Earth, which lets you bring in a lot of stuff unfiltered. So, Darryl, why don't you take it over and say hello? And after you do a greeting, we'll get started with the format of everything. So, this is just a quick greeting.
So, hi everyone, my name is Darryl. There's really not much to say. I'm just like everyone else, and I started reading a lot of books, and then it's like, oh, really? They should have taught us this in elementary school, and then it's you just read and you get caught up, and then I went to a activation, I guess 3 years ago, and during that activation, just something magically happened. A switch just turned on, and I just basically started getting a lot of information and memory. And it's basically this. It's like this is my first incarnation on Earth, and I am totally galactic. I instantly downloaded 4 galactic languages, and from there it's just been a lot of fun. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm like all of us. I'm just like discovering new things and new talents and new enjoyment and understanding how this Earth stuff works. And that it's just been a lot of fun. And my joy is really just sharing whatever comes to me, no matter how bizarre it is, because what I've learned is that the more bizarre it is, the more true it is. So,
Beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to have some fun today. So let me take care of some housekeeping before we get started. Please stay to the end of the video where Darryl, Tracy, and I are going to do an activation to transfer a lot of this galactic 5D energy into you so that your life can start to up climb. So stay for that. Also, very, very important. This is YouTube. Need your participation. Put your comments below. How do you understand what's going on? What are your answers to the questions that are presented today? Make this a discussion. A like and a subscribe really, really helps us. So please can ask you for that as well. So that's it. Put your comments below, share what's going on with you, and let's begin with Darryl giving us an introduction to all the topics he wants to discuss today. Go for it, Darryl.
yeah. So interesting is what I did was I actually time traveled and I jumped into time and I looked into time about what you guys were going to ask me. So then I took that in and I traveled back. And so now I'm giving a summary of the questions that you guys would have asked me if I did not answer it right now. So we're going to go to another timeline where you guys are going to ask me questions after I've already answered your question through my presentation I'm going to give you right now, which is only going to be like 10 minutes. But then you guys can come in with your new forms of questions. So that's the format. All right. I really did. I really kind of like downloaded the questions that you got me. So I'm trying to summarize it all into a cohesive uh, thought. But so you got to excuse me whenever I get thoughts, they're like bursts of thoughts, and I have to just like sickly or I forget it. So I'm just gonna. So sometimes it may come out like I'm rambling, but it's just like it comes to me in a big picture, and if I don't get it out, then I'll I'm like, well, the human side of me will forget it. So all right. So what I get is that I should tell you guys that we because the topic is what you guys all want to know is what the hell is happening now? That's what you guys all want to know. It's, so I'm going to explain that. All right. Um, we can go really, really back into the creation of creation. We can go back into the creation of this universe, but that's a little too far back. So I'm just going to go back 78,000 years. The reason why I'm going back to 78,000 years is that we are completing 3 cycles of 26,000 years. And then that is why we are on the third completion of a 26,000 years. So I'm sorry, that's 78,000 years. So that's the completion of this 26,000 years. And what's really neat about that is that it's like our seasons. The first 26,000 years was summer. The second 26,000 years was fall. The last 26,000 years, which we're on, was winter. And we're going to talk about the dark ages because that's what we're coming out of. But the yay thing about it is that the next 26,000 years, that is spring. So just note that it's yay because now we've now gone through the darkest winter, and I'm going to touch on that. And then now the next 26,000 years, the age of Aquarius, it's spring, baby. It's all this good stuff that's going for us. So that is what we're on. And I know that you guys are saying, okay, give me more than that. Give me more than that. You want me more to bring more up to date. Okay. From 2020 to 2028 was a key period. It, it was the epitome of change and pus. Now I'm going to use the word pus so that you understand it. It was this period of change and pus. Pus is like, for all these 78,000 years, for all this time, we've actually, okay, let's just keep it to this 26,000 years. We've now had a lot of backward movement on the earth, corruption, all this stuff that really was going on during the winter phase that we're in, where humanity was really in its darkest ages. We were killing humans left and right, right? It was like the darkest time of humanity. There was total corruption and service to self. Those are in power. They were all just service to self versus service to others. So we were during this time of the service to self people were really leading. So during this age, the last from 2020 to 28, it's the age of pus where I say all that dirt that was really going on underneath the surface, it's all that corruption, it had to come to the surface. It's like an infection, right? You have it underneath, it's been going on, it's been brewing, it's been making a mess out of your body. But then now during this time of change, it has to come to the surface to be seen, to be acknowledged. And it's stinky pussy, right? It's these, but it has to come to the surface as a pus that is smelly, it's cookie, it's ugly, but then it has to turn into pus and come up so that you can see what it is and so that you can pop it and heal it. So we have now seen all this dirt, corruption, icky pussy thing of our institutions, of our governments, of human nature. And again, these are things that were always under the surface for centuries and centuries and centuries, but now it's gone to the surface so we can see this pus that's always been brewing, and now by seeing it, we can pop it. And I know that when you see pus and you pop it, it's not pleasant, right? So that is the era that we're in, where we're seeing all this pus that's been brewing for centuries come to the surface, and we got to pop it. So that is where we're at. In that, I know everyone here has a kind, loving heart, and they don't like but let me assure you, the pus is good. It's necessary. It's what we need in order to get us to healing. So that is the period that we are in for 2020 to 2028. Now, what you got to understand is that 2025 to 2026, we're at the apex of that pus. We are right now at the point, right now at the point where so I'm saying like from well, this really started like in the fall to like probably spring, maybe to summer. You're gonna see it pop. So all the craziness that you're seeing, we're at the apex of the craziness, and for all this shit to be seen that's been there all along, but now it's gonna be seen, and rest assured, it's gonna pop. And when it pops, again, when it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to say, "Oh, yeah," but you're going to know that it's part of the necessary process. You got to know that when it pops, you got to understand. Oh, goody goody. That means we're on the road to healing. So while we see these things going on in the rural, in our governments, in our neighbors, some of our neighbors are pus too. And they just need to be seen so that they can pop and go away. So I encourage you that just understand that even pus is for you. Everything is for you in the universe. Everything is for your expansion and growth. um, so understand that big backdrop. So along all this, you guys are, a lot of people here are feeling energy come through them, right? You're feeling, not only what you're hearing on the news and all the pussy things that are happening out there, but you guys are actually feeling something in your body. And what you're feeling in your body is that there are galactic codes coming to Earth, and they are coming down to. They're actually coming down to every human body, but it depends on the human absorption of it. Those with higher consciousness are going to absorb the codes, and those that are lower consciousness, they're going to have it. It comes, but they're just not. It's not going to resonate with them. They're not going to use it. So, a lot of us here are feeling changes in our bodies. The codes that are coming down, and they are not just galactic; they're actually codes coming from Earth herself too. So we're all getting a whole bunch of codes, and depending on our frequency, we're incorporating. And really, what it's doing is that you've been all taught that humans have two strands of DNA and it's carbon based, which, which is kind of true, but it's changing. It's changing to a 12-strand DNA, and it's changing to a crystalline base. So that is what's happening on the physical level, and it is playing out into your body. And you are, depending on your sensitivity, you're going to start feeling that in your body. You're going to be feeling energy that you're normally not familiar with, right? And normally, because it's something that you're not familiar with. I mean, everyone's going to interpret it differently. Some people are going to say, "Oh, it's keeping me up at night." Da, da, da. Some people are going to say, "Oh, the pain, the pain, the pain." Some people are going to say, "Oh, okay, it's just sound. Okay, I never thought that." It's all your interpretation of it, and um, it's all your perception of it. But I guarantee you this, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're feeling, it's all for you. It's all for your benefit. Think of it this way. You've been waiting 78,000 years for it. You've been waiting all your incarnations, all your thousands and thousands of incarnation on Earth for this period of time. You've been waiting for the pus. And now we're at the apex of the pus. You're getting all the great effects of all the codes coming to your body, changing your DNA, rearranging it so it's 12 strand instead of two, so that it's being crystalline body instead of carbon. So, when you feel anything, look at it as your inner self has blessed you with feedback mechanism of, oh, goody, goody, I really feel it. I mean, not only do I now understand it, but I can actually feel it in my body. I can feel something different. So it's confirmation for you. It's confirmation that all this great thing is happening for you and humanity and society. So lean into it, say, goody, goody, give me more, because it's all for you. It's all to make you bloom at this special time that Earthlings, that you have waited 78,000 years for. I mean, that's how special this time is. You've been waiting three cycles of 26, and then a total of 78,000 years. And this has been foretold by all indigenous cultures around the world. You would see that even though they don't talk to each other and they're from different time periods and centuries, they all say the same thing. They've all have recorded interactions with galactic beings. And they've all said that during the age of Aquarius, which we're in now, is the dawning of when humanity will raise from the third density to the fourth density. So that's what we're basically doing in a nutshell, is that we are the leaders. We are the first among humans to raise our density level from 3D, from third density to fourth density. Now, a lot of you guys are asking details like, okay, well, it's going to happen tomorrow, this month, this year. So you got to understand, we're talking like a time period of 78,000 years. So, the question is not, is it going to happen 1 month, 1 year? The question is it going to happen in one lifetime or two lifetimes? I mean, we're really talking about something so epic that if you're going to squeeze it in, say, no, I want it to happen this year, mm, time doesn't quite work just that way when we're talking about something so expansive. But I will tell you that if you're on this call and you're listening to this, there's a reason for that. And that is that you are on the cutting edge of this information. And that even though it will take humanity about 380 years to converge into the fourth density, that does not mean that individual leaders will take that. Individual leaders will probably do it in this lifetime. Um, those of you guys that are listening here are going to do it this lifetime. Um, so, so let me stop there and see if anyone has any questions, and then if there's any time, because
Let me
I,
jump in. Let me jump
yeah,
in, Darryl, for just a second, because I think what you said was very, very interesting. When I first asked Spirit, how long is this going to take, right? It's like in the back of the car. Are we there yet? Are we there
yeah.
yet? And Spirit said it's going to take up to 400 years, but it can be as quick as 40 years if you guys on the planet get it together. And I've never shared that information with you. So it was really interesting when you said where we're at, and you said 380 years. I'm like, okay, we shaved off 20 years in just the last two. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can speed this up anymore. So if you'd like to ask a question for Darryl or Tracy or I, please raise your hand. There's a little icon where it says reactions on the bottom of your Zoom screen. You can do that. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can type in the chat and we'll see it come up there. So who would like to start us off with a question for Darryl, please? All right. All right. So I've got several of you. I don't think Lori, I've had the pleasure of having you ask a question. So I'm going to have you start us off. And I saw Maria, you're up, and Steve, you're up as well. But let's begin with Lori. So please unmute yourself and go for it.
Hi, Laurie.
Thank you. Hi, Darryl. Okay, so excited. This is helping me clarify some things. Um, the in August, when I last saw you, um, I was on we went to a retreat. I was on a high for a couple months, and then I started gaining weight. Um, and the message I've been getting is that, okay, it's time to work on your body now. That's why we're bringing attention to this. Uh, Resetting my nervous system and helping me listen more to my body. Is that kind of like part of this process? Bringing everything up, or is this something different?
Yes, because ultimately where we want to go to is mind, body, spirit coherence. So it's the balance of all three, and the coherence is actually a function. When you do that, that is actually how you actually go to a higher density. That's how you really do what you want to do and raise to a higher density and a higher dimension. So the fact that you're called to your body is basically for you to balance that. It's your inner self is giving you the recipe to get you to the next stage of balancing coherence, and it's telling you that your body is the wobbly, uh, is the point that needs focus on in order to get that coherence set to the next level that you're going to get to.
Yeah, that makes sense because um, since I've been doing this for the past 2 months, I've noticed that it's getting easier to listen to those little messages from my body, where before I would, have manifestation events, but now I think it's more becoming more attuned to what my body is trying to tell me before my thoughts even get involved with it. So everything is functioning all together. Um, as a system, like you said, mind, body, spirit.
Yes. And I'm going to take advantage of your question because I actually want to talk about cellular regeneration. Cellular regeneration is something like I'm an expert on. I'm probably the best expert in the whole world on cellular regeneration. I can cellular regenerate in my body just like that. And I'm supposed to teach people about it, but quite frankly, it's not my interest. But I'm going to tell you kind of what I know, and maybe in a couple of years I'll write a book or something like that. But um, for this or anything that you want in your body, you got to understand that you are light. You are pure source energy. You got to understand that every cell in your body is also a fractal of source, is source energy. You have the potential to do anything in the universe. The cells in your body have the potential to do anything in the universe. It's the same thing. It's a fractal of source. Source can do anything in the universe. The only reason why you or anyone has a physical ailment, um, that we age the way we do. I mean, we're actually supposed to live a lot longer and look a lot younger than we do. Yeah. Okay. A little secret is that when beings reach the fourth density, because humans are in the third density, when beings reach the fourth density, even if those galactic species live 2,000 years, 900 years, whatever, they in the fourth density can pick the age that they want to stay with for the rest of their life. Because, yeah, no, I swear to God, this is a rule of fourth density. All the galactic beings, they get to pick whatever age they want and they stay there for the rest of their life. They normally pick 35, but but there's free will. There are some that pick 14, but it's like there's no judgment. If you want to live 14 for 900 years, go ahead. So, but it's a common fact that in the fourth density, all the galactic beings get to pick their age and they stay what they are. So they have learned, the master of coherence, about how to regenerate their cells. Basically, what we do wrong on Earth is that we have resistance, we have trauma, and we trap it in ourselves and we don't release it. So, the number one thing to help any of your ailments, is really just to learn to release bottled energy that's not making your cells perform optimal. Release, 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 because your body actually knows how to age beautifully and in a way that, frankly, you look a lot younger, a lot longer, and live a lot longer if you didn't have that, stuff like that. So that's actually the number one way for all of us to improve our health, is to release that bottle up energy that doesn't serve us. Another thing that I find very powerful, and you can use this for your weight loss, or if you have cancer or anything, is that what you do is, okay, all right, very quick one. You just meditate and you get into a oneness feel, and you picture, you are nothing but love and light. You are getting divine information from the quantum field. When you're in that state, you imagine all of the billions and trillions of cells in your body. They're like one big gang. I mean, they're all over your body, right? You picture the little cells. And what you do is pay attention. You instantly make them have a happy face, a yellow big happy face. When you do that, you are just projecting the energy of happiness into all of your cells. And when your cells are happy, they can do anything you want. Seriously, if you can get to that state where and you picture every single cell in your body is happy, they will perform optimally. Does that help?
That is wonderful. Thank you so much. I love that. Happy face. Okay, I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Darryl.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're very high tech here.
Thank you. So Rochelle wrote in the comments, this resonates, So she just wanted to sit there and say she's been guided to direct her atoms to return to their original coherent state. Amen. So there's a cat trying to walk onto my screen, so I'm going to keep one hand at bay. But there's 5 of you got your hands up. I see you all. I'm going to pick you in a different order than I normally pick people, because I wanted to get some of you who haven't interacted with Darryl directly yet. Steve, I haven't forgot about your question. You're on this queue. But next, we're going to take Stephanie. So go ahead, please unmute yourself, and then we will start having this. So go for it, Stephanie, please.
Great.
Hi,
Thank you very
Stephanie.
much. Hi, Darryl. So I have one comment first, and I'll come to my question. A few weeks ago, around Christmas, I had this download, which was actually about the crystalline body, and that it's like there's this little crystal that's seated in your body, and when that cracks, it's like when you crack, one of those those illuminating things that that you put around your arm that we had in the 80s, that you can put outside. And so when you crack it, it just all lights up.
Mhm.
And so that the download I had, that this little crystal that you have, it just sort of, when that cracks and pops, your whole body just sort of, the whole thing just turns crystalline.
Yes.
Oh, and so that felt like really beautiful.
Yes. It's like a reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I mean that's what happened to me in December, and just went so actually quite amazing feeling. And so it's coming to my question. We, as you said here, we are the first wave and we are the leaders, so that we can light the way for everyone who comes behind us. So what would you say is like really important for us this year?
As an individual.
As individuals, but also as a
Okay,
collective
correct.
of leaders of the first wave.
Have fun.
Okay, aside from having fun, because that's what you always say.
Okay, well, but I'm going to explain why it is for you and society. You want to have fun because you want to be effective. The most effective thing you can do is to raise your vibration. And the best way you can do that is to have fun. So I know what we're doing. We're leading the edge for humanity to raise into the fourth density. I know that the universe, all the ET species, the angels, and they've been waiting eons and eons and eons about that. So I know the key importance of what we're doing. But in order to accomplish that efficiently, we have to do that with the understanding of how important it is and how silly it is. You have to go in there with the balance of knowing that it's the most serious thing in humanity to do. And the way to accomplish that is to don't take yourself, is to have fun. Because when you're having fun, that is the vibration that will get you to your objective the most directly. If you're there putting the pressure on you, saying, I love my fellow man, I need to concentrate and make humanity raise to the fourth density, and I hope those servers itself aren't blowing up the planet. If you're doing that, you are in the vibration of fear and in the vibration of fun. So I think the key message for everyone here is yes, we are all doing important things to help humanity raise to the fourth density, and it's absolutely watched by every single ET species in the universe, and all the angels and the dragons and all the other realms. But the way you do that, the way you accomplish it is by having fun and don't take it too seriously. Because if you take it too seriously, you're actually in the vibration of not really getting it done. I'm going to segue here in that there are people here who are into Reiki and into healing people. Okay? The first rule of Reiki and healing people is to know that they are perfect in their illness, that everything is perfect. The world is perfect. The person you're trying to heal is perfect. The humanity that we're trying to raise into the fourth density is perfect. You see everything as perfect, and you see everything as fun. And that is what gets you into the vibration of helping humanity raise to the fourth density. That is what gets you into the vibration of healing someone that you love. So does that explain the necessity of fun?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, our whole lives are a scavenger hunt.
Mhm.
It's following the breadcrumbs or following the dragonflies and butterflies and hummingbirds, as we
Mhm.
both know.
And to have fun
And to have
doing
fun
it.
and to have fun with it, have fun doing it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's that's of course absolutely 100% important. And I really like what you said about seeing the perfection in everybody and in exactly where they are at this moment, because that's what they've created and that's what they need to do and that's where they need to be right now. And see, yeah, it's all perfection. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go deeper into your question, because I'm your question as a segue, because I want to talk about grid work and what you're talking about, because you were saying what can we do to help humanity raise into first density. So a lot of us here, what you can do, because you want more practical stuff besides having fun, but fun is the number one thing that you need to do. So number two thing or three thing is do grid work, right? So we are all here to raise humanity to the fourth density from the third density. So you're saying, okay, give me concrete steps. Well, the very fact that you guys are listening to this, you have it in you to do grid work. And then a lot of you here are saying, well, okay, what the hell is grid work? I'll do it. Yeah, okay. So what grid work is that because you're all high consciousness beings, you have built-in codes into you. You have incarnated with codes in you to produce alchemy. You are going to be called to go to sacred sites around Earth. And when you're called there, it just resonates for you. You don't know why, but you just say, oh, I want to go to the Great Pyramid, or oh, I want to go to Mount Shasta. Oh, I want to go to Peru, right? There's going to be something that calls you to go there. And when you're called to go there, basically what you're doing is grid work. And grid work is needed to help humanity to raise into the fourth density. So third density humans will go to the Great Pyramid and they will take a picture, right? That's what third density humans do, okay? Fourth density humans, which we're all transitioning to, is we're going to go do grid work. We're going to go to the Great Pyramid. We're just going to meditate there and we're just going to receive codes from the Great Pyramid, from the galactics, from ourselves, and then we're going to produce alchemy within ourselves. And when we produce alchemy within ourselves, then we are releasing codes into the land. We are then releasing codes into the people we meet, and then we're absorbing new codes. And when we do that, we have think of it as we have now pitched a big antenna on that grid site. And then that means that other high consciousness beings are traveling around the world to other grid sites, and they are doing the same thing. They are releasing codes, absorbing codes, and putting out codes. And they are planting antennas all around the world. And when that happens, then we unite this grid around Earth that captures the love light energy that's being projected in. I'm not going to go into it, but the grid was actually erected during the Lemurian times. And then there was a false grid that was erected from the surface itself to basically trap the love light from not getting out. So that false grid has gone down. And now we, in our quest to help humanity raise into the fourth density, we are all called to do grid work and basically plant our antennas. We are basically being a lighthouse of light, we're an anchor point, and we're using the sacred site of the grid, the Earth that we're going to plant that pole, so to speak, so that you're connecting all the grid points along the Earth, and we're capitalizing on all the love light that's being shined from the individuals, and we're raising that grid, and that is what helps Gaia raise her density level, and all of the humans inside utilizing Gaia to raise theirs. So grid work is very important for high consciousness people to do to help raise to the fourth density. Oh, I'm going to go a little deeper here. All right. So that is what fourth density humans are going to do. But a couple of us here, we're going to sail past fourth density. We're going to the fifth density, the fifth dimension. So what we do there is at that point, you don't got to travel. You don't got to travel to the Great Pyramid, to any sacred sites. You bilocate, you astral travel. I actually got this like a year ago when I was doing a session with Tracy, and Tracy was telling me that the Earth or someone or they're telling me to go to this site in Atlantis, which is sunken underwater. That's like, I'm not going to scuba dive like that. So it came to me, oh, well, what you got to do to do grid work there is that you got to learn to locate and astral travel, and then you can do everything I described, but you can do it by locating and astral traveling there. So that is for the more advanced folks who will get into that. You'll learn to astral travel and do grid work by astral traveling. Isn't that really, really cool? And then I'm going to give you something that, whoa, that's even more cooler. Um, I have now began to touch into the sixth dimension. Um, and and one of the side effects of the sixth dimension is they told me this. Okay, you don't got to do the third density thing of going to the physical site anymore because you can astral travel in the fourth dimension, right? That's astral travel. But now that I've done that, no, that's the fifth dimension, right? You go there physically, you release the codes, that's fourth dimension. But then you go to the fifth dimension and you do that by astral traveling. You put the intention and you bilocate and you go to the site and you do that by your intention by astral traveling and by locating. In the sixth dimension, because I just learned this like recently, it's like really cool. In the sixth dimension, the field comes to me. I don't need to bilocate or astral travel. What I do is I basically rub my dog's belly and give her a belly rub. And then when I'm feeling happy, the field will appear to me. And then I will be able to do earth grid work while I'm scratching my dog's belly, while I'm cooking a meal. The field comes to me. I don't go to it. It just comes to me. So I'll be like scratching my dog and giving her a massage. It's like, oh, okay, let's take care of that grid work in the Great Pyramid. Okay, all right, done. I mean, it really is that. It's the coherence of having fun and not effort and struggling. I don't have to effort and struggle and say, okay, I got to astral travel there. I got to figure this out. No, I just cook my dinner, give my dog the belly rub. And when I'm happy, the field will have to come to me. And then at that point, it's my decision of, do I want to do grid work and release the codes in in Peru, the codes in Mount Shasta. It comes to me. I don't have to do effort and struggle, and it will come to me when I'm having fun.
I just want to jump in on that, Darryl, because that's really cool. A while back when I traveled to the ramp, the School of Enlightenment, and the RAM was being channeled by Jay-Z Knight, full body channel through there. And the RAM's during the lecture saying, I'm actually in my little grotto and I'm cooking soup right now and stirring this while I'm giving you this lecture. And so it's literally what you just said, which was a blown away. But now I'm meeting another person and you're not having a channeled entity through you, you're you, and you're talking about that this is a state that's available. I'm also want to tease you a little bit, Stephanie, just a little bit, because when I first started doing the spiritual work, every channeler would start off with the being saying, I love you, and there's so much love. And I'm like, yeah, get on to the good stuff, the practical stuff. And I'm just laughing because now I am a channeler. And whenever I channel somebody, that's their first and all message. And it's like, that's the important one. So I loved it when you said, oh, you always say fun. And then Darryl said, let's go back to fun. Oh, okay. Several of you have your hands up. I see Evan and Ryan and Maria and Lee, and Spirit's really been bugging me to say, bring Maria on because whatever you're going to come with next, Maria, is going to be whatever's Spirit wants us to do next. So go ahead and unmute and please begin.
Hi, Darryl. Lovely to meet you. And thank you, Pete and Tracy. So the question I wanted to ask is, we all are here with our own uniqueness. And when people talk about ley lines and things like that, and I live in England where we have some pretty funky ley lines.
The dragons are saying, call them dragon lines.
Yeah, okay, dragon. Now I'm going to upset everyone when I say this, but I'm just going to be very honest. I've never felt drawn to ley lines. And I have people who are like really, and they invite me to come with them because I would never think to go. So I always question, why is it I'm just not that interested or I'm not pulled to it? And yet recently, March last year, I went to Spain, an hour away in the mountains in Malaga. And I then recently just bought a tiny little 1 bedroom there. And I've just got this massive calling where I'm now in the process of going there. I don't know anyone there. And I just feel called to go there. And I'm just going to do it. And I'm like, so although I hope what I'm saying, if anyone else is feeling the same, can you explain to me that when I get that calling, even though it's not like a ley line there, but I just know I'm going to end up there. As soon as I'm there, my heart, my whole being is just so happy. It's in the middle of the mountains and I couldn't be happier.
Yes, I even wrote down your question here to answer it. All right, so there's your answer. Anything that you're feeling is perfect. So the fact that you didn't feel it in the past is perfect. It just meant that it wasn't the right timing for you. And I'll explain why it wasn't the right timing for you. It's because the ley lines are called dragon lines, and dragons have recently awakened. The dragons have been really dominant in Earth and humanoids during the second reset of Earth, way, way, way back. They had to go underneath and in slumbering, in hibernation, think of it that way. It was always foretold that during this time, that they will awaken and they will come back, their energy will come back. The dragon energy is the ley line energy. They're called dragon lines. They're really called dragon lines. And what they are is that the dragon energy, let's see the best way of putting it. It's like the druid, it's like the nature energy. It's like the belief of supernatural elemental forces of causality of Earth. And at one time, we believed in that. But when the period shifts to the Atlantis period, that energy was suppressed. Just like the female energy, it was suppressed and made to go under, made to downplay itself, to hibernate. During this time, it's always foretold that it will be the return of the dragon. The dragon will come back and reemerge as the dominant, well, not the dominant half of the energy of Earth. I mean, it's to balance it now as the equal partner of logic and control. It's that energy that's been slumbering in the Earth all this time. So the the dragon lines, the ley lines, are like the veins of Earth. It connects her with her energy source, and where the ley lines connect, that creates a node, and the node is where they built sacred sites on, like the pyramids, like Mount Shasta, like all the chakras of Earth. They are where the ley lines converge, um, and and that's why they create the nodes. So you are being called to that particular ley line because that dragon has awakened. The energy is now strong so that you are feeling the call to go there versus before you weren't because the dragon was sleeping. It was hibernating. But now that it has awakened and its powers are flowing through Gaia, all the dragon lines, the ley lines are activated now with the energy of the dragons, and they are now connecting to the nodes that house all the sacred sites. So of course you are going to start being waking up and feeling a pull to go to that sacred site, to that ley line, because the energy now is awakened versus before it was hibernating. So a lot of you guys, this goes with the thing about doing grid work, because grid work is connected to ley lines. Ley lines feed the grid of the nodes that where you're going to go to the sacred site and plant that antenna. Everything's connected and everything is logically organized and perfect for its purpose. So you were not called to go to it in the past because it would not have suited you or anyone. If you would have gone there and meditated and done your love light, there wouldn't have been a dragon connection because it was sleeping. It wouldn't have done anything. But now that the ley line has awakened, the node is activated, the call, the signal is gone out to all of you starseeds and humans that have it in your DNA. You are going to feel a calling to go there because now is the time that going there will make sense and be functional and effective. Does that help?
Yeah, so even though it's not like a sacred known site, it's just a place that I'm drawn to in the mountains.
Right.
It
Right.
maybe it's a vein, so it's not a major one, but it's a vein that has
So,
been awakened and I'm drawn there.
so let me give you a secret. Every place you go to with your presence is a sacred site.
Oh, okay.
That's what you need to understand. Wherever you go to and you infuse it, you do that perfect match of your energy with following your intuition and hearing the dragon ley lines come together. If you do that connection, you make it a sacred site. You make it as powerful as the pyramid. You make it, it's, don't underestimate your power. You create secret sites wherever you go and you're in coherence. That's your
Just
function.
just to add a mishmash from my favorite movies, the sleeper has awakened. I have the power. Okay, so there you go. I want
Thank
to
you.
thank you, Maria. I want to add to this. Tracy Rachel has been starting a thread in the comment. And do we need to protect ourselves while remote viewing as I feel it affects my energy when I channel? And I just want to address that, and then we'll move on to another question. So, Tracy, that's kind of applying 3D thinking to a 5D world. In 3D, you have opposition, good, bad, stuff like that. And so you go and you go into 5D and you think, I need to protect myself. People who do that end up calling more problems to themselves because it's in your field and you attract it. The solution is to assert I am a sovereign being and nothing comes into my field without my permission. See, we didn't know this in 3D. We've been dumbed down, didn't realize we have the power to create our field and put it out so that only beings of love and light come to us. That's what Tracy and I do all the time. And so the goal is to understand you have that. Now, if you try that and you still come in with fear, you're radiating fear energy. So you're going to start to create attraction to that fear. And then the beings will come in and go, why didn't it work? Well, because you're holding it, which is why Darryl earlier said you got to clear the densities of the stuff you didn't move because that's the beacon attracting it. Long story, short answer, you just declare your sovereignty. Only beings in love and light can come to you. If you need help with that, Tracy and I do one-on-one coaching sessions, and that's one of the big things we help people with is identifying what's still in that fear field, attracting and clearing that, and then helping you take a stand of your sovereignty so you move forward without ever worrying about any of that. So,
I also want to add that, look, Tracy, um, it's perfectly fine to be in 3D because let's face it, a lot of us are going to be in 3D. And there are 3D steps and helpful hints to do. Like one that I learned from Edgar Tolle is a simple one where I think he learned this from the barbarian monks or something like that, is that you simply imagine the entity that giving you angst and you just say, I hold you harmless and I wish you well. Poof, they go away.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. So if you need a 3D tool, just use it, use it.
Beautiful. So, Evan, can you unmute yourself and go ahead and make your question, please?
Sure. Well, thanks, Darryl, for starters, for sharing everything. Actually, you already answered one of my questions early on. So your efforts moving forward in time worked out well.
Good. Okay.
Um, I'm still new to this all, and so I greatly appreciate all the knowledge and sharing of the information. So I wanted to bring this actually back to the body, in a 3D area, and ask the question about food intake. Is there any type of food that's best to ingest not alcohol and stuff like that? I'm talking about vegetables and meat, actually, and other forms of healthy food that are better to consume than others to advance into the fourth, going from 3 to 4D.
Yes, but I'm going to answer the complete answer. The complete answer is that you can eat a 50,000 calorie cake and make it work for you.
I love
You
cake.
you could. In other words, Ram Dass, he fed the yogi, Mama Hashi, or uh, like 5 doses of LSD. Just say, okay, can you overcome the physical body, and and that, Mara, no effect. So that's just to illustrate that you can eat a 50,000 calorie cake and not gain any weight, right?
Yeah.
So on a certain level, you can overcome anything. Okay. So that being said, you have incarnated into a human body in the third density. When you have agreed to incarnate it into the human body in the third density, you have agreed to play by the third density rules.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's where everything you hear about calories and exercise, those are just third density rules. And rules can be bent, or, I mean, you can make a 50,000 calorie cake work for you. If you can, great, you can do that, but not too many people can do that. So when you're in a 3D body, you got to follow the 3D rules and regulations that we all agree to play by in this body. So in this body, according to the rules, is that yes, there are certain things that are optimized for you to have your energy flow. They
Mhm.
are the natural food sources that are not processed, that are really governed by receiving from the light, meaning vegetables and earthly things that are direct light energy form. Um, the big question that a lot of people get is like vegetarian, is it bad to eat meat, da 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 da. I mean, so what I get from it is that, well, in some ways it is, because like if the cow is killed, it has like a shock of, I'm being killed,
Right.
and then that's being caught in the meat, and you're eating that, so you're eating that vibration. So
Mhm.
yeah, that is true. That is 3D human stuff about chemical reactions and stuff like that. But then you also got to understand that the cow that's being killed has it in this life plan to be killed and eaten. So there really isn't that judgmental attitude to it, right? But that being said, what I get that if you really want to help your body transition easily, and again, you can do it by chain smoking or eating calorie cakes. Um, if you wanted to do it, the most easy way, according to 3D rules, is that you eat plants, vegetables, nature, things that are grown in the ground. Um, and that is optimal. But again, it's anything you want and anything that you pick for your vibration.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I would like to add to that, if I may, uh, because it's not just the cows that have the shock of being killed. Plants are conscious and they're harvested as well. They carry an energetic. And then when you get really into the field, you can start to realize that the plate in front of you, if you stop and feel it, the plate of food in front of you, uh, who was the truck driver that transported it? Who was the person that prepared it in the store? All that energy is still present with it. So when I do a prayer or a blessing for my food, what I'm doing is feeling the pain of every little bit that's incomplete in the entire cycle of when that piece of food came to my mouth. and completing it. In other words, let this pain pass through me. And it's no different than what we were talking about earlier when you talk about trying to complete your own density traumas. And so you just open up to the field of your food and complete it there. And then it raises the vibration. It is literally blessed and lighter. Uh, but then what Darryl was saying, it helps a lot if you start with lighter foods, literally with light. But just want to add that to you because this is a deep question. All right.
Thank
So
you.
I can give you a fun trivia fact. And one trivia fact is that when you go into the fourth density, the beings, the galactic beings there, they don't actually eat food. They actually eat this thing called mata or something like that. It's this energy thing that they get that's ubiquitous all around. So that's why there is never a gluttony. There is never a worry about not having enough food because they actually just get what they need and they feed their body about it. They don't overeat because it's always there. If they're hungry, they just get some. If they need nourishment, they don't have hunger. They get it. So there's no overstuffing yourself. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna hoard that food so I can have it tomorrow. It's just a more eloquent way of being, but you'll get there when you become a fourth density being.
Yeah, I wanted to add something too, since Evan, you said you were just getting into this whole path that um, this can be a great playground for really learning to use inner discernment. Because the truth is, every person on the planet has a different body and they're going to resonate with different foods. And yeah, there's some common groupings of that, but even within that, there's individual things. So you might want to consider either learning how to use muscle testing or pendulums or, just your own body rocking. But the end goal really is that this is a brief bridge that you use that after you use it for a while, you start noticing, oh, I already know before I've muscle tested. I already know before the pendulum started swinging. And then that means you're connected to your inner knowing, to your sacred higher self. And you just start not even worrying or reading about what, diets, this, that, or the other. You just start following your internal guidance, which of course is unerringly going to take you to what's perfect for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. So just a little housekeeping. We've been at this for an hour. I'm okay to go another hour, but that's up to you, Darryl. I've got 4 more people in the queue for questions. We'll cut it off after that. We will not take any more questions. We still have the activation and stuff to do. So, Darryl, are we good to continue with the next 4 questions, or should I kind of lop this off?
Oh, definitely. I love talking.
All right. Well, Darryl loves talking. There it is. It is done. Okay. So, Ryan, you're up next on the queue. And if you could unmute and if you don't mind turning your camera on because it'll make much better video since we're live streaming this, that would be fantastic.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Darryl. I've been following your videos, YouTubes, and your newsletter. So I just want to thank you for all that you do for all of us and in the planet. My first question is, from your perspective, do you know if there are any universal truths or universal laws that govern the civilizations of the cosmos? And my follow-up question to that, how can we help cultivate a lasting, peaceful relationship among all the diverse life and cultures, regardless of their origin? Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna have to break that up. Okay, so the first thing is that you got to understand that when you say universal laws, you got to first say, well, which universe? Well, you're only talking about this universe, not really understanding the other universe. So I'm going to talk about this universe. This universe is a unique universe of universe because it's an experiment. It's an experiment where there are. So I've asked myself a lot of times, how many dimensions are there? And I get 2 answers. But it's like, how can there be 2 answers to the same question? So the 2 answers I get is there are infinite amount of dimensions out there. And then the other answer I get is there are 12 dimensions out there. And it's like, well, how can the same question has 2 answers? And that is because the answer to everything is yes and. But anyhow, so what happened here is that there are infinite amount of dimensions out there. This universe is an experiment. This universe is a unique creation among universes. The architects of this universe basically put a 12th dimensional bubble in here so that anything in this universe can only be um, comprehended, felt within the 12th dimension. But then higher dimensional beings had to basically give a little portion of themselves in order to fit within this 12th dimensional universe. Outside this 12th dimension universe, there are other dimensional beings that can't be registered because they're not within this 12th dimensional bubble. So when you are asking what are the universal rules, then you're asking what are the universal rules within this special universe, 12th dimensional universe experiment that we're in. So yes, there are outlined universal rules within this 12. The laws are like the law of attraction, the law of there's like 12 of them. So I'm not going to know them off the top of my head, but like the law of attraction is one. The law of have you read Thoth? Thoth channeled the law of the 12. I think there's 12. Yeah, there's about 12 universal laws within this 12th dimensional universe. So, yeah, they're not coming to me. I know the law of attraction is one of them. Peter, do you get, there's like 12 of them that at least
Yeah,
12
so
that there is.
so the deal is the question's too big to get a specific answer. Okay.
Okay.
That's why, because I'm in the same field you are, okay? And to me, the most important one is the one you just talked about, Darryl, the law of attraction. You realize that everything within you is without you, and everything without you is within you. Everything is a mirror. And if you just start with that law and start realizing, okay, what am I seeing out there? Okay, so that's in me. How does that work? And if you can figure that one out, then you become a powerful creator, and you also have the ability to open up to the other dimensions and channel. To me, that's the primary one, is understanding law of attraction. So I hope that helps you, Ryan.
It does. Thank you. I think you're talking about the Toth or the Hermetic principles, the Hermes Trismegistus principles
Yeah.
you mentioned.
Yeah,
Thank
I think they set them as laws of the universe. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm remembering.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
I actually know the answer to your second question, but I forgot your second question. So can you restate your second question?
Yes. If we want to cultivate a lasting, peaceful relationship with all the diverse life and cultures, so I guess like spiritual, intergalactic, everything, spirits, regardless of our origin, how can we help cultivate that peace?
With the knowledge that we're all one and that everything's perfect. So I'm going to give you a question that I asked my galactic guides, and that is that I have been in civilizations where galactic species where they have killed each other, where they have nuked the planet and blown it up, Malduk. Um, and there, you think we have war on Earth? You don't understand war until you face war of galactic species in the universe. There's been some, I mean, there's been different alien species that have gone at it and totally eviscerated other alien species and wiped them out clean from the universe. I mean, there is war, and that does play out there. And what I asked my Arcturian spirit guides is, well, how do you deal with that? You guys are all high vibrational and loving, and how you do it? They just nuke that species. They just, terrorize them. They just obliterated them. How can you have love with a species? Because there are some that are, trying to get their services off ways on Earth, but how do you forgive and love them when they have completely nuked another species? And the answer to that, and I think the answer to your question there, is that you have love for them. You understand that we're all one, and you understand that it's all perfect, meaning that your enemy is you. It is just a reflection of you. And it is being your enemy in order to teach you something. the the ones that you would label darkness, the devil, is nothing but light disguised as that. Ultimately, it is light too. It has done those negative things to show you, to help you grow.
The way
Now,
I understand it, Darryl, the way I understand it is going back to as within, so without. So if there's a species out there nuking another species, and I'm aware of this, that means my consciousness, my being holds nuking and killing and stuff like that. Now, how do I love them and forgive them? I have to find what's in me that is the nuker, what is in me that is the one that wants to have this kind of control, and love it. And what does love mean? When in the 3D world, it means full expression, right? In other words, you allow it to express, but this doesn't mean, oh, this is terrible. I can't have this stuff. No, no, no. Now, I'm not saying go kill people or anything, but I'm a big believer in a good drive-by fuck you. You find a nice, safe place, okay, and you just let it out. Okay, and you love it enough to give it expression in a way that doesn't create harm to anyone. And then you go, oh, and then that energy is dissipated and it's free and it's no longer going to be reflected out there. It's been healed.
Yeah. Good advice to do when you're in outer space and good advice to do when you're on Earth.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's get a couple more questions and thank you so much, Ryan. Lee, can you unmute and go ahead and ask your question, please? Lee, are
Oh,
you there?
okay. Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah. Hi, Peter.
Hey, Lee, good to
Hi,
see you.
Daryl. Good to see you. Um, this is great conversations. I want to say, Daryl, that when you mentioned to have fun, it was so resonated with me. So every day I'm telling myself I'm gonna have fun today. Sometimes I don't know what that means, but I'm trying to have fun every second. When you're working all the time, that working is your fun. Now I have changed my mind about that. So I have a couple of things. First, no peace, work for peace movement for the venerable monks is so impacted for me. I would like to understand. Can you comment on? Do they have a major impact on the collective level? And I was questioning about, is this being arranged or just accidental? This event has drawn a lot of attention, at least has a lot of impact in my life.
Okay. So the one thing, a couple of things that popped up. One is that I like that their title has peace in it, right? Because anything that you put your attention toward is the magnifies the issue. So the fact that their title has peace rather than like anti-war, those are two different vibrations. You are to go to peace marches, but don't go to anti-war marches. That's something that Gandhi taught us, right? Because if you go to anti-war, you are actually going in the vibration of war. If you go to a peace rally, then you're going in the vibration of a peace. So they get plus for the title. Their vibration of their title. I don't know what you're referring to. I think I kind of do, but it's irrelevant. So the answer for you is whether or not it has an impact on the global world, whether or not it's organized for the global war, that's all irrelevant. The only thing that makes the difference is it organized to make you happy. That's the only purpose of it, is to make you happy. If it makes you happy going to their peace march, then it's doing its job. If it's not making you happy, then it's not fulfilling its purpose. Don't go there anymore. If you go there and you feel good, you feel happy of what you're doing, then it's for you. If you're going there and you're going, oh my God, I gotta stop the torture, I gotta stop, that's not making you happy, that's not the purpose. So whether or not it's doing anything on the earth is irrelevant. For all of you guys here, I know you guys are all heartfelt people. You want to stop the war. You want to help humanity raise to the fourth density and all this good stuff. I know you guys want to do that. but it's all irrelevant. The only thing that's relevant is for you to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it all just comes to you to have fun.
Yes. That's great because I do feel like if I need to assist anything, I had to clean up my stuff in my own world. And watching them really moved me so much. So great deal. Thank you for confirming that.
Yeah, yeah.
Second thing,
I'm gonna tack on here that it's the same principle for watching news, right? So when you're watching news, if it does not bring you joy, don't watch news. You might say, "Oh, it's an important world event. That's why I'm watching the news. I gotta understand it. They're having a war here." Da, da." If it's not bringing you joy, don't watch the news.
yes, it makes sense. Because this everything is for me in this world, isn't it?
Yep.
Everything.
For you
To
to have
be
fun.
saying yes. Second thing is you mentioned Reiki. It's feel like you said it for me. I have great interest to assist animals using Reiki, but if everything, I mean, how could I assist effectively? You say everything's perfect and healthy, especially animal. They don't have our monkey mind. They not, they're more connected to source than us. Do they really need human to assist them at all?
They don't need humans to assist them because they don't need anything, nor do you need anything. Whether
Yeah.
you projecting your love light to a person helps them, and you projecting your light to animal helps them too. Do it if it makes you happy. Now, I will say this, that it's interesting that you picked animals for Reiki, and it's I hope we're going to talk about light language because okay. Animals are great for Reiki. You know why? Because they receive your input without having a mind to block
Mm-hmm.
it. If you're trying to do
Mm-hmm.
Reiki on a human, then you are going into the human mind and saying, "Oh, he's going to tell me something. He's going to tell me if it worked or not." Da, da, da. You're putting up expectations, and an animal is the perfect specimen to give Reiki to because you love it. You're projecting it. You don't have this mental expectation of it's gonna judge me if I can't do it. It's gonna say, you're a fraud. I didn't get healed. The animal just gives you back love, right? And if you shoot at love in any form, and Reiki is a form, and it's a third density form that has been solidified by collective conscious, so it does work. What you got to understand is that the animal can't talk to you, so it can't give you the validation. But you don't need the validation. You just need to know in your heart that you sent out love, and you sent that out in an organized, educated way that humans have documented of how to go that route. So just do it. Do it because animals are great because you also have skin in the game, meaning that you care for them. So there's also a love that has a connection. So that's also another that's getting there. But yeah, doing Reiki for animals, I think it's probably better than doing it for humans.
Thanks for that.
They're better subject.
Thanks for that question, Lee. The YouTube live stream is blowing up with hearts ever since you asked that question. So that's really kind of cool. I want to keep moving along because we got two more questions and then we've got the
Okay.
activation to get through. So thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you,
Thank
Darryl.
you.
So Connor, please go ahead and unmute yourself and go for it, brother.
Hi, Darryl. I was wondering, does chronic illness play a role in this awakening? I've sort of had this long COVID thing for a couple of years, and it's weird to kind of have something that it seems like your body can't heal. Like normally, you've got,
Yes.
and is it something like, well, it's just trying to teach me a lesson. I've learned the lesson, then it'll go away, or is it more like, no, this is something I'm stuck with, and that's a different lesson, or
It's part of the bigger number one lesson of life that everything's working for you. So your COVID or any disease, any physical manifestation, positive or negative, but let's stick on the negative right now, is for you. It's done, the more major it is, the more it's ingrained into your soul plan. Meaning that if you have a major illness, let's say COVID, but let's take you're paralyzed, right? If you have anything major, it's because it's in your soul plan to have. And you're going to ask, well, why would my soul have it for me to have this major crisis? So that it's there for your expansion, meaning that it is designed to give you the perfect amount of trauma, the perfect amount of pressure, the perfect amount of motivation for you to learn and expand and to get growth. So everything in your case, COVID, that was for you. That had to be in your life to get you to where you are now. It had to be there so that it made you stop, question. And by the way, it made this whole world do that, right? It made the whole world stop, sit in place, and say, oh, no work. It did for the whole world, society, what it's doing for you, which is that it made you reset, reevaluate, and give you an opportunity to learn and expand from it. If you still have it, means that you're still expanding. You still have opportunities to learn and grow. When you get rid of it, when it goes away, that means you have fully utilized it.
Yeah, Vanessa wrote in the comments, COVID started my awakening, and this is Peter talking. It was huge in mine too, not having it, but the whole thing. So
Yeah, no, it definitely pushes you for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be here without it, but at the same time, you kind of go, I'd really like it to go away sometime too, you know?
Yeah.
well,
Well, go ahead, Pierre.
no, eventually, Connor, you're going to understand why you're clinging to it. And then you're going to see that layer of why is this taking so long? I know because I'm playing the allergy game, right? So I'm playing that one, right? So it's like, these are our growth tools. And it's like, okay, so why is it taking so long? Duh, because, we in the human field think, oh, I got to hurry up and get there. How many lifetimes have you played this game? Right? How much are you clearing out now? It's moving super fast.
So Connor, you're from Ireland, right? So I want to say that there is code on the eastern side of Ireland, the druid, the witchy energy that I'm supposed to release. We're back to the topic of Earth grid work. So in Ireland, the eastern side, that's on my to-do list. So
Ah,
yeah.
cool. There's a lot of
Beautiful.
witches there for sure.
Beautiful. Going to be a party, and the leprechauns will show up, I'm sure. So,
Yeah.
Steve, Schultz, you raised your hand earlier. Do you still want to ask a question? It'll be our last one. If you do, unmute and go for it, please. All right. I'm not getting a response, so we're just going to
Are you there,
pass.
Peter?
Oh,
Are
you're
there?
there. Good. Go for
Okay,
it,
I
Steve.
had to see how you unrooted. Just real quick, off of all of this, the questions basically to Ambassador Darryl and you and Tracy, maybe on this. I know everything we're talking about is all this whole game or construct of what's going on, and Darryl keeps saying, the whole purpose or whatever is to be here is to have fun. So when we choose to incarnate and take the piece of us to create the characters that we're all playing, and since Darryl said that this is the first time he's playing a human, so his higher self or being has always just picked constructs of being other galactic universal beings, and some of us have just always stayed in the human role all the time in this construct or this on the earth plane. So basically we're just wanting to experience the game in just different roles and learning to advance our I don't know our soul selves, our higher selves
Let me
in
start
whatever.
with that one. So, I remember when I was at the ramp to school, and the ram says, so you die and you do your life review, and then you go, oh my God, I fucked up so bad. Put me back. Let me do it better. Okay. And so usually what happens, and then we call that the cycle of reincarnation when it really was just a choice. Usually what happens is you do not complete an experience. And because you do not complete an experience, the density weighs on you because you hold it, right? And then when you're free from a body form and you're looking at these densities, you're like, ugh, and you don't want to get them. So you come back and you do better. But the rules of incarnation are forget and free will. So it can take a long, long, long time. Now we're in that special dispensation where you can do all your lifetimes in one if you stay focused on it. So what we usually do is we choose cycles of humanity. All right. And so, for example, I know for me, I can't talk for you, but I know for me, I wanted to be here at the time of Ascension. I wanted a front row seat and I wanted to play a part in it because it's exciting. So I set myself up to be around Christ when he ascended and other people who descended so I could watch it and have it in my consciousness. This is how it's done so I can prepare for this. So there's several things going on. One is your plan is across multiple lifetimes, and the other is that in these lifetimes, you can track densities, and then those densities then become what you keep working on because you're like, oh, this is what I need to create it. That's my understanding of it. Darryl, you've got a broader perspective, I'm sure.
Yeah, everything Peter said is accurate, but I actually want to throw in a fun tip, and that is that even you Earthlings who think you're only Earthlings aren't really just only Earthlings. If you go way back into the creation of mankind, into the humanoids, all the way back into, let's say, the Lemurian days, right? That's before the Anunnaki genetically sliced us to make us look like we did, but the humanoids that were way back in the Lemurian days, right? Those Lemurians were star seeds from the Palladians. So they were galactic. So basically what I'm telling you guys is that all you guys are basically galactic.
Mm-hmm. They
Yeah,
say
I
we're
was,
all like, I'm sorry, they say like we're just, what do they say? We're stardust.
Yeah,
yeah.
Stardust. Yeah.
I was doing a
Oh,
session with somebody the other day, and they were like, "Well, how many incarnations on Earth?" "Oh, you've had about 1,000 on Earth." And I'm like, "Really?" And oh, and they weren't consecutive. You've got at least three going on currently now. Okay, and it's like that's a whole bit. What? There's three of me here, and I don't even know these other. No, you don't. But your soul does, and they're what you do affects it. So it's the question you're asked is big, but it's also a rabbit hole. It's Alice in Wonderland. How far down the rabbit hole you want to go? The whole point is that your awareness and your consciousness is focused in you in this moment. And from there, you can explore all this other stuff. But the mistake people make because they want to turn into an academic game. And I got the catalog of all the different species and all the different races and all the different time cycles. And that's great. It helps you. But if you stay with it, it just misses the fun and the ability to expand and grow from the point of power that you're in this moment.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I do is honestly, it's like, wow, on Earth here, I'm going to enjoy a hamburger. I don't normally get to eat a hamburger, so you enjoy this incarnation. You value everything. It's like, oh, this is what it feels like to breathe. Oh, it's like, wait. So you enjoy the everyday pleasures of it as if you're feeling it for the first time, because that's why you've incarnated into a human body. It's to have pizza. It's to have, it's these other things that you normally
Came
wouldn't
for the
have,
pizza. I came for the pizza.
I mean, that's the secret why Earth is different than all the other, because there are humanoids on other planets that are third density, humanoids, but they're different than Earthlings. The difference is that Earth is an experiment. No place else on all the other planets with all the other humanoids that are in third density is there this polarity. The game on Earth is that we have extreme polarity and emotions and free will. That is why all the galactic species are looking at Earth experiment that makes us different than any other existence, humanoids on other planets, is that we have this polarity game going on of extreme emotions, extreme differences, and we have the free choice of coming together and blending it together and balancing the energies so that we can help humanity raise into the fourth density.
It's the hottest ticket in the galaxy, and
Correct.
you scored it. You're punched in. You're in the club.
Yeah.
So Enjoy it. Let's move
Thank
to
you.
a special interlude before we get to the activation. I'm very pleased to announce that for over a year, Tracy and I and the Becoming Awesome team has been working on creating a mystery school online. We're not talking about a class, we're talking about a whole mystery school online to help people very quickly, like within 6 months, develop all the skills and abilities you've seen demonstrated here. Okay. And we're offering a pre-sale. It's going to go live in April, and it's now coming for a special price that you're not going to see anywhere else at this time. I want to just say that Darryl is one of our big financial supporters in bringing this to you. So thank you, Darryl. I'm going to play a little 6-minute video. That's all the sales pitching I'm going to do is that 6-minute video. Check the links below or in the discussion if you want to follow through with this. We're going to watch this video and then we're going to come back and do our activation. Let me set up the screen share right now. Here we go. And here we go. Hey, beautiful souls. I can't tell you how excited I am that after a year of hard work, the Becoming Awesome Ascension program is now available in a pre-sale where you can save 25% if you sign up before the end of March. I can't tell you the love and work that has gone into creating a program to take all the skills and abilities that Tracy and I have and teach them to everybody for a very reasonable price. Let's listen to what Tracy had to say in the welcome video from the app.
By showing up here, you have already said yes to your awakening. Today begins your journey into higher states of consciousness and experiencing more peace in your life. Each lesson is designed for you to be able to move at your own pace. Each one will build on the other, and you will move into higher levels of consciousness and deeper connection with your divine. Soon you'll experience your mind becoming more quiet, yourself having a deeper connection to your divine, and your life having this ease and grace about it. We've asked a huge group of higher consciousness beings to always be present every time someone is using the program. All you have to do is ask and allow for their assistance with what you are going to be learning.
The normal selling price is $1,295 for a 6-month subscription. If you buy the pre-sale now, you'll save 25%. It'll only be $970 for a full 6 months after the app releases. And this is level 1 of a 3-step program to really bring you into a great state of consciousness where you can actually do the things that you see all the channelers do on all the YouTube videos. In this program, we focus on 5 major gifts. First of all, getting into 24/7 conscious contact with your sacred higher self. Yeah, life changes when you do that. Second of all, learning how to channel so you can talk to any entities from spirit to ETs to everybody that's in the oneness field. Yeah. Also, you're going to experience awakening through this process. That changes everything when you have an awakened state. And I'm not just talking about being aware of the lies that are out there. I'm talking about being perceptive about the truth that's all around you. And that's another thing, your ability to discern truth from falsehood, your ability to have automatic knowing, to download information and upgrades directly from source. We're also going to be having units on how to have effective prayer so you can manifest your heart's desires. But most important, living in a state of causeless joy. Yeah. That's the end goal. I'm really hoping that you'll take advantage of this opportunity to get it at this price. You're not going to see it this low ever again. Sign up now before the end of March. Use the links below and you can take advantage of the $970 price for 6 full months. Let's cut to another video from the program. This is what Tracy is explaining some of the features of the app. Here's what she says about how we designed this program.
The structure of this program was designed by Spirit to assist you in moving from the level of density where you are now into ascended 5D consciousness. Every part of it was designed with precision, clarity, and purpose to make sure it would really resonate with you and have great clarity.
So what does your subscription get you? There's more than 60 lessons, both in a written and video format, so you can read them, you can view them, you can do both, to teach the basic fundamental knowledge you'll need to move forward. On top of that, there are 16 group processes that you can participate in and draw the energy from the whole power of a group receiving these transformational abilities. Yeah, that's really kind of cool stuff. In addition to all of that, there's activations and transmissions that are embedded throughout the app to continually bring your energy frequencies up in a variety of different ways. There's a live weekly meeting you can attend so you can immerse yourself in the oneness field. I cannot tell you how much things change when you just simply, through osmosis, sit in the field with higher consciousness people, and then all of a sudden their level of consciousness pulls you up, and now you're the higher consciousness person. There's also a monthly Q&A that's going to have a live process to do clearing and activation transmissions. All of this is going to be with our AI tool, Angelica. She's going to be a guide and a coach. So you'll be able to tap into our 3 books, the 500 channeled videos that Tracy and I have produced. So whenever you ask a question, all the lessons, all the knowledge we have, they'll draw directly from that, tell you this is what Archangel Michael says about that topic. Here's what Tracy says about that topic. It's a beautiful tool. Angelica will also be your coach to set up your clearing program. So if you put the work in, it's going to be, this is going to be some work. I'm not just going to lie to you here. For most people, we're talking 20 minutes a day, maybe an hour some days, but 20 minutes a day, 4 or 5 days a week for the 6-month period. But after that, everything I was talking about is going to be yours for the taking. You've seen a lot of testimonial videos on our channel. You know how the transformation, if you've ever experienced sessions with us, you know the transformation that takes place. Now here's a tool where instead of doing it piecemeal, you can get it at your own pace without paying for travel, the time it takes. I really, really hope you'll sign up and support the app. Yeah, we need the pre-sales to go really well so we can finish everything up and really launch it. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the oneness field. Stay blessed.
That sounds terrific, Peter.
Yeah, I'm so excited because you're a supporter, Darryl. So this is a great opportunity to release this. Tracy, I'm going to ask you to come on and start to do the calling in. We're going to call in our spirit teams. Then we're going to get into a oneness field. Then we're going to turn it over.
Before we
Go
do,
ahead,
I want
please.
to before we do, I want to comment on that presentation. And what I got watching it's terrific, Peter. And what I got is that after the folks have graduated from your terrific course, you and I are going to channel from Galactic. And we're going to add a module in there about cellular regeneration, about how to really bring down cellular regeneration. I will bring down various galactic techniques because every galactic species has its own galactic technique of how to cellular regeneration. So once folks have completed the course, Peter and I will work on a module on cellular regenerations from the galactic beings.
Darryl, it's gonna be in level 2. Okay, this is a 3-level thing because we're gonna put that in there for sure because we've got a whole stuff. This is the level 1 is the foundational stuff you need to know to be able to access this stuff so it's not crazy and become normal. But yeah, God, what a blessing to collaborate with you on that. Oh my God, it'll be so nice. So yes, cellular regeneration, here we come.
Okay.
All right, Tracy, do you please want to go ahead and start calling in our spirit teams? And after we do that, we're going to get into a oneness field. And after we do that, Darryl's going to explain how the activation works so we can sync up with him, using our consciousness. and then we'll go into the activation.
Okay, beautiful. So everyone, of course, your sacred higher self is with you, but they love it when you acknowledge them and really drop into your heart and be present with them. And of course, we're going to call in the angelic realm, all of our galactic brothers and sisters. We're going to give gratitude and invite in Gaia, on whom we stand in her beautiful 5D energy field, and she helps us in our transitions. We are going to call in the inner earth beings who are amazing in their energetics and love to assist us. We're going to call in your ancestors who are here in support of you and all the ways that you are growing. Call in any forms of the divine that mean something special to you, all of your beautiful spiritual teams, bringing them in. And then going into deep gratitude for all of them being here, all of them affecting everyone on this call, everyone watching it now, everyone watching the recording in the future, and extending all the gifting they do to all who watch this.
Beautiful. Thank you. Now we're going to go into a oneness field. To do that, you're going to breathe in from the central sun to your heart, and from your heart to everybody we've called in, everybody in spirit, everybody on the call, everybody watching the video across time and space. Once you breathe in from your source to your heart to everybody, then you're going to go back and forth between everybody on the call, everybody watching it, everybody in spirit, back and forth from your heart for the duration of this song, just focusing on the oneness. So please begin.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an activation on giving you guys activations. So we're going to explain how activations work and how to activate the key ones in you. Okay. Activations come in all sorts of form, and we're all different people, so we all have different keys and we all have different things that are going to resonate with us. But if you're on this call now or in the future, you're going to be heavily involved in activations that involve light language, hand mudras, and glyphs. So let me explain. You're going to see a burst of light language in the future. Your friends, maybe your family, well, probably not your family, but a lot of your friends, all the spiritual people, light language is going to start pouring out of them, and it's going to start pouring out of you too. And if it hasn't already, you're going to first kind of feel like, well, you're going to feel like you're making it up. You're going to feel like, peer pressure, John down there is starting this light. Why isn't my light coming on? Rest assured, everything is coming in the perfect timing and the perfect amount, and light language will come to you in this coming year. You will first kind of feel it like bubbling out of you. It does not come from your brain. It comes from non-brain. It comes from like inside of you. The biggest barrier to light language is that people's minds stop it from flowing. It wants to flow. It wants to come out of you because it's your inner language. Light language is not meant to make sense to your mind. You're not supposed to understand what it says. It's a universal communication to light beings. It's what your inner self talks to another inner self with. So it is just the vibration that naturally comes out of your mouth. And if you have not started to do it yet, just let it flow. I would recommend doing it in the shower first. What I do is I do light language to my dog. My dog's the perfect learner and perfect partner to learn light language with because she doesn't judge me. So just let it come out, and the light language that comes out of you is your galactic heritage. There are different types of light language, but the one that will first come out of you is the one that's predominant in your lineage. Just let it flow out naturally. No pressure, and don't ever worry about what other people think, because they're irrelevant. Everything is about you. Everything is about you expressing yourself. So just let it flow and understand that no matter what you say is absolutely beautiful and perfect and unique to you, and is necessary for humanity to raise into density. The other activation that I want you to understand is the kissing cousin of light language is hand mudras. A lot of you guys are going to start feeling like you want to move your hands and you aren't going to know why. It's the same thing as light language. It's just going to bubble out of you. It's just going to feel good when you do it. You're not going to understand what your hand language is saying, but trust me, your hand mudra is actually just as powerful as your light language. I actually like it more than light language because people could be doing light language and I can be doing my hand mudras and I can be talking over them and complimenting them through my hand mudras. So just understand that your hand mudras are beautiful and natural, and just let it flow. Your hand mudras are frequency attunement. It really gathers the physicality of movement, and you're using your human body. You have a human body now, so you're going to take advantage of it. Just like you have vocal cords in your human body, you can use that for light language. You have these things called hands. So with your hands, you can use them to do hand mudras, and that is frequency attunement. It actually moves molecules and frequency and energy, and it tunes it and it directs it for a purpose. So just express yourself and feel free to use your hand mudras and express yourself with your hand mudras. The third thing that I'm going to activate or tell you to activate is your abilities for sigils and glyphs. Now, you've all seen these on Egyptian walls, paintings, various ancient civilizations throughout the world. They will come naturally to you. They are just basically patterns that are imprinted into your self-conscious. A glyph, a glyph, a sigil actually contains more information than an entire library. Your mind doesn't comprehend everything that glyph or sigil produces, but it's volumes and volumes and libraries of information in one glyph. That's how powerful a glyph is. When it flows to you, just picture it in your mind. And when you develop the skill, you will get a sense of what that glyph, what vibration it does, what information it's giving you, what is the beauty of it. Sometimes the glyph will come to you for the vibration of cellular regeneration. That's actually what Reiki specialists do, is that they get glyphs and they send it out to people, or they send it out to themselves. So that gives you the power of glyphs. It's basically galactic information that's compressed in a very direct way that's being gifted to you to activate you for many different purposes, for yourself and for others.
Beautiful. In a moment, I'm going to pin Tracy, Darryl, and I to start this off. Now, there's many people on this call with some high-powered energies, and you should be joining in because eventually, in a couple of minutes, we're going to flip to a gallery screen. Start muted, but if you have light language coming through, feel free to unmute yourself and add to this transmission. So here we go. Darryl, please start us off and we will all add into this.
Aura. Shalom. Shinikiwa. Shatata.
Kuria koshota niso hoa.
Isipiwe.
Nishuniasa. Ah, kuwa. Yana no si sho alai. Onda.
Nakaya
Ushon
so
sola.
Esti
Ua
ako te
shinasa.
nakaya
Undu
naka stiki
funia.
ako wa
Washo.
gaya snatako
Uria hanu.
ai
Diachi.
kai tasnawa
Way.
ntako tiki ya
Lucky
Way.
is
Yikoto
neki one
Arisiana
time to
Nanakina wa
tia
sinakaki.
is noku
Oh, no.
ko inda kalaka Tanka is the cold to wala bakrianta I sticky am pan kind of home to who I am tiki not a day us not going to war to so
Anna alare eke
Neo is naya tiko one to
ini
the
iloroko tokoro atu he shikala
Ay, secure
Dina
one
ka
take
iwa
take one to go
iya iya yana lalare iki lore se
on the pa. Nakati wa.
na Uno oloro oko tiki na Fushu aya shuona o fushura shuo fushkrare iki fush ani ala fushkla ase fushra aki kata a veshkiti e fikata a
I should have told you guys that whenever dragons come in, my dog Silver always barks at the dragons. Happens like 90% of the time.
Okay, go ahead and please give gratitude for everything you've received. That was like a whole light language choir. It was so, so beautiful. We're going to wrap this up now. And before we go, I just want to remind you, please put your comments below. Share how this has been affecting you, what your journey's like. If you can give us a like and subscribe, I'd be so grateful. And remember the pre-sale, you can check that link if you want to take advantage of that. Darryl, do you have any closing words for us? I know you're giving us that beautiful light right now.
Just have fun.
Great. Thank you all. You guys stay blessed, and we'll catch you on the next time.